What is going on in your lawn care and landscape enthusiasts? My name is Jack Duffy, and welcome to the Green Collar Podcast, where we talk everything from the green industry. A little bit of, hey, how are you? Hopefully you guys are ready for this big storm that's going to take out the entire universe and the world. It's going to blow up. Are you guys getting as sick and tired of all that shit on social media that I'm saying? It's literally everything on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. All these people could talk about how catastrophic this storm's going to be. Don't get me wrong. It's probably going to be rough. It's going to be tough. Stay inside, stay warm. If you lose power, have generators ready to go. Be prepared. We all up north know what this can be. It can be a bigger storm. For some of you, you may get 2 feet. For us, yesterday, Wednesday, at the time I'm recording this video, it is on Thursday, so happy Friday to you guys when this goes up. On Wednesday, they were calling for 12 to 18 inches for us. They've downgraded that today, Thursday, to 6 to 10. So anything could happen. I think the storm's not going to make it as far north to us as they're expecting. We're still going to get some snow, but I don't think we're going to be getting a foot to 18 inches. I don't see it happening, but anything can happen. Last weekend, we were supposed to get a coating. It turned into 6 inches. So, anything can happen with the weather and with Mother Nature. She could be a bitch. She could be the best thing in the world. You never know. So, let's get into today's topic. Let's talk about what do we do as lawn care and landscaping owners in the off season. This is one of the toughest things that a lot of new lawn care and landscape business owners have to go through. I know I did. It's very tough because if you don't have snow removal, what are you going to do? What services are you going to offer so that you can keep up with your expenses, keep up with your bills, and also have some, cheddar in your pocket to take your wife out to dinner and have a nice date, That's what we're going to talk about today, how I've learned what we can do to make sure that we have money and stretch that money as far as we can go while paying our expenses, and some things that we can check off going into the spring for 2026. Let's get into it. Roll the intro. So here's why winter separates the hobbyists from the real business owners in lawn care and landscaping and anything really in the green industry. We are seasonal workers. It's a tough thing. It sucks because I'm jealous of my wife all the time because her job obviously is 12 months out of the year, right? So she's working every weekday, making money. And then once like December hits for us, it's like, oh shit, we're not working 6 days a week out in the sun, making that money, making that cheddar like we normally do. It gets tough because those bills don't stop coming in just because, oh, hey, winter's here. We're not working as much. Hey, could you pause that bill? That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. We still have if you have mower payments, if you have truck payments, if you have rent, if you have your mortgage, if you have food that you need to buy, if you have kids, you have to buy their stuff. And it just adds up and adds up. But when the money's not coming in or the jobs aren't as frequent, it gets very tough on your bank account. I don't know why I said it like that. But let's talk about why that separates, why winter is the thing that separates the hobbyists and wannabes and the real people who are running businesses throughout the year. So winter, for me, I always looked at as the time to reflect on the year prior, work during the winter as much as you can, but also prepare for the next spring. I've always looked at that since about 2021. I just felt that, yes, there is a time and a place to reflect on what happened last year, whether it was a good year, bad year, what you did right, what you did wrong. I think that all matters. And I usually do that in December. That's usually right before Christmas, the weeks leading up to Christmas. I usually take some time just to reflect on what went well last year, what didn't, what mistakes did we make that we can learn from, but also the things that we should be proud of, that we accomplished. Last year, we had our highest revenue. That's an accomplishment, but it was also an extremely expensive year. How can we minimize that going into 2026? You take that time, and I always take from Christmas and New Year's off. This year I got the flu, which really sucked, so I was going to be off no matter what. I usually take Christmas and New Year's off, and then I usually start back up right after New Year's. Weather dependent, obviously. Snow is an emergency. We're always on call. So if it snows over Christmas Eve, you got to go out and work because Yeah, it's just the job, right? That's what we signed up for. But other work that you could do during the winter time that we do is we do a lot of miscellaneous things, right? Land clearing. We do some of that. We do some of that with land clearing because it is a great way to do to be profitable and help out our customers that maybe we don't have time for in the summertime and springtime or even in the fall. We do a lot of that kind of work, right? Where it's that miscellaneous stuff that customers are like, I think we should get to this over the winter, like cutting down some trees if you need to, taking limbs off trees. We do a lot with picking up sticks. This year we added even seasonal decor, decorating for Christmas and New Year's, right? We did that with our restaurant that we one of the restaurants that we maintain, we outside. We only did the exterior. This year we actually did the interior Christmas decor and also indoor planting. And so there are things that you could do. Painting is an option. I know a lot of guys in this industry that they pick up some painting jobs or they go work for a painter that works inside throughout the wintertime, or they go into a construction crew, or they find a hardscaping crew, or you do some hardscaping work. But as a business owner, you have to be flexible within what you are willing to do. A lot of other things that we do, we have 2 bed and breakfasts that we maintain, and that's a yearly thing because obviously in the winter time around Christmas we have to decorate the outside, help decorate the inside, bring in Christmas trees. But also after that, you have to make sure the inns are always looking good because people are coming to stay, right? They're always going to be there to stay throughout the winter months no matter what. So the place has to look great on the exterior side. And that's your job. No matter what the season is, no matter how cold it is outside, you have to get that done. So those kinds of jobs you can do in the wintertime to offset some of that lack of work from, the mowing and the spring cleanups and the pruning and the mulching and the fall cleanups and all of the miscellaneous stuff that you do throughout your normal year. You can supplement that with, say, your customer wants to push some of the woods back on their property and maybe make a new grass area. All right, we could do that. Let's get to it. So those are some options that you have when it comes to providing services to your customers other than just snow removal. Obviously, snow removal is the big one because it's winter work. It doesn't snow in July, right? Well, I hope it doesn't snow in July where you're at, but most of the time it snows in December, January, February, and March. So that's the big one when it comes to services you could add to offset some of that loss of income from your mowing. The other things that I mentioned, there are plenty of services that you can offer within your company that gets you that revenue that maybe isn't a lot. Now, are you going to make what you make in a normal season? No, of course not. You have to be realistic and say, okay, I just need to make enough money so that my expenses are paid for and also I have some cheddar left over in profit. You're not going to make a crazy profit unless you do. If you find something that works really well for you, keep doing that. But most times, your seasonal in the winter isn't going to be as profitable as it would be in the spring, summer, and fall. So, all of that being said, another thing that I love to do over the winter is plan, right? Plan for my next year. What do I need to do? What do I need to maintenance on the machines and get them ready for? What do I need to make as far as paying my employees? What revenue goals do I have this year? What are my expense goals? I think it's a big thing to know what your expenses are going to be going into a new year, because if you don't, and you're just guessing at it, or you're just assuming, hey, it's going to be this or that, you don't really know what revenue goal you need to hit so that you can cover the expenses that you have in your overhead. So it's a big thing that I love to do around this time and also into February, because February is getting close to March. I do a lot of marketing for the spring work, right? Spring cleanups, mulching, landscape work. I'm not picking up any lawn care this year. Maybe if I do, it'll be more closer to the end of spring, and maybe the people who are canceling their chuck in the truck, and they're going with a new guy like me or you, then I'll do that. But lawn care, we're pretty much set. But I'm going to be marketing more for pressure washing. I'm going to be marketing more for landscape installs. I'm going to be marketing more for mulching and spring cleanups. All of that matters, right? And flower planting. That's a big one for us. We do a lot of flowers. Obviously, the restaurant I mentioned, the inns that I mentioned, we do a lot of that. And we want to continue to add those services and build up our crews so that that work's getting done to add more revenue into our company and more profit into my pocket. So That's a big thing that I think a lot of guys just kind of wing it when they go into spring and hope for the best. And I used to do that. I used to be that guy, man. I used to sit there and go, spring will roll around eventually. We'll just get back on the mower and do our thing. We're not going to expand our company. I got my customers, but what happens if 4 of them leave? Now you got to replace them because you have an employee. Now your revenue goes off. Now your expenses are off. You're not going to make as much money. These are the things that you want to be doing over the wintertime. Wintertime is not just to sit around and plow snow all winter, right? Wintertime, you have to start planning for what spring could be and making sure that you're checking off each list that you want. Now, maybe marketing is not in your cards. Maybe you don't want to add anymore, but check in with your customers. Send out newsletters. Utilize your CRM to send out a newsletter to your customers saying, hey, this is what we're offering this year. Want to make sure that you're going to renew with us and make sure that we're all good when it comes to our relationship from customer to business owner. Those are all things that you can do right now instead of just saying, okay, in March, I'll get to that. Fuck that. End of January, early February, first week of February, I'm sending out newsletters to everybody on my client list saying, hey, we're going to be doing mowing this year. We're going to be doing landscaping, mulching, spring cleanups, maybe some hardscaping, maybe some pressure washing. If you're interested in those, please contact us to say, yes, I'm coming back this year with you guys, or no, right? So that way, by mid-February, late February, all right, what customers am I not renewing with this year? What customers are coming back? You know how much revenue that'll be, loss or a gain. And then you can go from there knowing what your expenses are if you need to market and pick up new customers. Those are all things you should do right now. It's so important. It's basically a reality check for your business, right? To get all of the things, dotting those I's and crossing those T's, making sure your spring is set up, ready to go so that you can just get on the mower, do your route, do whatever landscaping you need to do, and just go. The other big thing is maintenance, right? Making sure that your mowers, we're doing a complete overhaul for our mowers this year and trucks. We're going to be doing that probably late February when the weather gets a little bit better because it's cold as shit outside right now. But we are going to go over what parts need to be replaced. We need to get new air filters. We need to get new fuel filters. We need to get new blades. Whatever it is, man, go over every aspect of your machine and understand that so that you don't have any breakdowns come the first mowing week. Then it even sets you back even more. And now you're starting off the year with a breakdown. You don't want that. That sets the vibe all off for your year. You want to go in knowing I'm good on everything. My machines are going to show up. They're going to do the job. My guys are going to show up. They're going to do the job. My trucks are all in good shape. They're going to do the job. These are all things you can do right now. And you should be doing them. And that's what sets us apart from people who are just starting out or guys who just don't give a fuck. If I'm being completely honest with you, they don't give a fuck. They don't care what their machine does. If it breaks down, it breaks down. Oh, I have to text my customers. I've broken down. I can't come out. Or they just don't even call them at all. That's what separates us from them. That's what separates real business owners who care about what they're doing and the passion that they have for their business to keep it growing and keep it moving. So that's really it for this video, guys. Checking those off during the wintertime. Reflect on the year past. What did you do right? What did you make mistakes on that you can learn from and revisit and tweak, making things run smoother. Those are things that you can do. I did in December. If you're not doing them, do them now, right? Reflect on the year past, then go into, okay, what services can I offer right now so that I can keep earning some revenue so that my bills are paid and some cheddar's going into my account. And lastly, go over everything that you need to do to prepare for spring of 2026 season so that you have no hiccups, no breakdowns, no headaches. Your marketing is all good. You have new customers coming in if that's what you want. You've checked in with your current customers to make sure they're renewing for the year and move forward. Going into spring with zero headaches and knowing life is good and the vibes are good. Check in with your employees too. That's a big one. Making sure they're coming back for the season. What happens in March when your employee says, hey, I'm not coming back this year? Well, now you're fucked. You just got all this work for 2-3 guys and now you're down a guy already right off the bat. Now you got to go hire somebody. If you know that in January, you take February to hire somebody. Utilize winter as a time where you can revitalize your company and go over everything that you have because you have the time to do so. Work on your company. Not just work for your company, work on your company. So that's really it, guys. Thank you guys so much for checking out the podcast. I really do appreciate it. If you guys could leave a like, that would be awesome. Leave a comment down below. What are your plans for the spring 2026 season? What are you guys hoping to achieve this year? I'd love to hear from you and get a discussion going. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Be safe if you're doing snow removal this weekend, all right?